Hey, it's 7 grains of salt. Dude perfect. Genuine? Christian? Let's take a look. Well, if you don't know who Dude Perfect is, I'm going to give you a rough rundown. So we have Corey, Kobe Cotton, they're twins, Garrett Hilbert, Cody Jones, and Tyler Toney. And they also have a managing member, apparently, Sean Allen Townsend. Not sure about that. It all started off with a video at a Christian summer camp, and that's where it basically took off. That's logo of the camp. So they also were roommates at Texas A&M University. Right now, they're averaging 10 million views each video. Oh, it's amazing. More than 50 million YouTube subscribers. They have several Guinness World Records. They then launched in, right now they're with Nickelodeon Network, and they also have some face-off videos featured on Whistle Sports Network YouTube channel. We'll get into all of that. They have several episodes. A few of them are overtime, absurd records, that's where they get all their records basically, stereotypes, trick shots, Wheel of Unfortunate, battles, and more. They're a hoot to watch. I have to say, me and my family enjoy watching them. They're sponsored by Nerf, Bass Pro Shops, Fiat, Pringles, Callaway, Trax SRC, could be even more, but that's basically what I could find, plus Marvel, because they had one gentleman show up from Ant-Man. I'll show him later. So they were the Texas A&M University alumni, which is interesting, and here's a few other members of the Texas A&M. I'm wondering, so why do they care so much about the university that they attended? I don't understand. I don't go bragging where I went to university. I mean, I don't know. But anyhow, they have a panda in their mascot and features on their show. They have lots of celebrity guests, at least most recently. Those are several of them there. Some from, such as Tim McGraw, who are others, Jamie Benn. You'll see. We'll go through them. There's Paul Rudd, Luke Bryan, the country star singer, Dale Earnhardt, NASCAR, and Tim McGraw, another country star. So they have plenty of people coming on board. Then they have merchandise. And the reason I even started looking into this was because of the DP. As above, so below, basically, is how I visioned it, right? Well, when you get into it, I mean, they do have to get their brand from somewhere, and so they get their merchandise from a certain company. So that's basically how I kind of started and was suspicious and wondering, what is this all about? And as you can see what those terms mean below if you're interested. This is on their company, not their company, but the merchandise company, is Who We Are. Interesting, I'd have to say. When you go into this company website, you can see several Khalid, Lecrae, maybe some you recognize and some I really don't, but several artists that they have worked with that are more so that they want to show and showcase. And then here is the apparel merchandise line. Let's just go down. I'd love you to see a few names here. Khalid again, 21 Pilots, Lecrae again, Forever 21. I mean, there's names in here that maybe, again, you recognize, but I don't. But there's several of them. And then as well on their tour website, you can see who supports them. And when we scroll all the way down, without getting you guys too dizzy, we'll go all the way down. Look at all these clients that have worked with them. Wow. Have to say, I'm surprised and impressed and confused. Well, they've done several shows that had me wondering where their income is coming from. How would they get that kind of permission to do that? And just the absurd amount of money, renting a helicopter to just play Battleship, or throwing a ball off a rooftop from like hundreds of feet up, or renting these cars. I don't know. And then filming episodes at Bass Pro Shop made me question, because they had to shut the whole store down, as well as they played a round of golf and no one else has been there, as far as I can tell. So I've had a lot of questions. I've also noticed they've had celebrities that they've met with. This is from their own Instagram. But they also interviewed several players on the men's basketball team, including Kobe. Interesting. That was in 2012. Then there was this handshake, and I'm just going to share this with you, okay? This had me wondering. Now it's going to go so fast that I had to slow it down, so let's watch. I don't know about you, but I was wondering, because that didn't seem like a normal handshake. But I digress. Let's just go on and see what else there is, because there's a lot to look at. So they've achieved many records, which is fabulous, such as walking on Legos, rolling on these gym balls, throwing balls while blindfolded, and so many others I can't even imagine. They don't get them on the first shot all the time. Only a few times they have. So it is still impressive, even if it's taken a few times, I have to say. Fun to watch. And their net worth currently is anywhere from 20 to 25 million. Wow. So Toby Mac had songs during their show. As you heard in the beginning, that was Eye on It. And then he had also a showstopper by with Capital King's remix. But they play several songs, several genres, don't get me wrong. It's just the Christian ones that I noticed, and just such as Royal Taylor's song. Then on their website, I added this picture. Obviously, when that first ball swishes, we have no idea that we were getting ourselves into. But we believe that nothing happens by accident, and that God's given us this platform for a reason, and that we have an opportunity to make an impact on the lives of countless others all around the globe. Above all else, our ultimate goal is to glorify Jesus Christ in everything we do. We want to use this platform for something much bigger than us, which is amazing. And they had several other quotes in there as well, such as even a Bible verse where it says, "Teach me your way, Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name." Well, I'm going to show you a clip from a conference, and there's some good and some questionable things. So let's take a look.
So these two guys are twins, Kobe and Corey, and their father's a pastor down in Austin Stone Church. Matt Carter, who was here at our men's conference last year, Tyler Tony and his wife Bethany, very involved here in our Plano campus. Garrett Hilbert, the name Hilbert may ring a bell with some of you men. His brother was on our staff here. Mother served on our staff. His mother-in-law is on our staff. And the big tall stud in the middle sporting the A&M stuff. Yeah, that was a little light. I was expecting a little more. Cody was a youth pastor here at one of our sister churches, Parkway Hills, just across the tollway. These guys are amazing young men. So my first are gifted young men, all right? They're gifted intellectually and beyond. So besides providing just some good, clean, fun, family entertainment. What do you guys want the Dude Perfect brand to represent? I mean, you're obviously making a big imprint, touching a lot of lives, making a big mark on our culture. What do you want it to represent? You're nodding your head, Corey. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll speak to that. I think for us, honestly, you know, it's a lot of fun to see people smile and to hear people cheer and get excited, and that's obviously fun. And, you know, naturally we want that to happen. We feel like we're not doing a good job of, you know, being entertainers if that doesn't happen. But I think for us personally, I'll kind of hit you with a quick illustration. I heard this recently, and it really spoke to me. I feel like life and our lives, your life and mine, is like a power strip. And we all take different things and plug them in, right? We have a marriage, and you plug it in here. And we have a job or a new car or kids, and you plug in all these good things. But at the end of the day, none of these different things that we plug in are going to work unless you have the one important plug plugged into Christ. And for us, like we try to do what we do at the absolute, you know, best of our ability, and we feel like, you know, we have been given by God an opportunity to shine in a world, and an entertainment world that's pretty dark. But for us, we know on a personal level that unless we're plugged into Christ, nothing is going to work. John 15:5 says, "I'm the vine," Jesus is speaking, "I'm the vine, you are the branches. He who remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit. But," and don't miss this, "apart from me, apart from Jesus, you can do nothing." And so we know that ultimately for us, if we individually are not plugged in, and if we individually are not having the people that can speak most closely into our lives, our wives and our family, you know, kids that we serve with at church, like the people that know us the best, not the people that watch the videos, but the people that know us on a personal level, if they don't see that we're being plugged in, then, you know, at the end of the day, we know that what we're doing is not going to be effective. And I know that you guys, you don't want to do nothing, because no one wants to do nothing. You want to be effective at work, and you want to be effective at home, and you want to be effective at church and everywhere you are. And so for us, what we want to be known for by those that matter most to us is that we're plugged into Christ.
Man, that's a great word, yeah.
Amen to that. But then this is one thing that kind of had me puzzled. And I'm just going to show you a little piece of it. And I'm not meaning to take it out of its context, but just take a listen.
Our passions, we worked at summer camps. Me and Ty worked at Sky Ranch, the twins at Kanakuk, and Garrett spent his summers doing internships and just climbing that master's ladder to be an architect one day. That counts for nothing now, but at the same time.
So climbing a master's ladder, not sure what to take of that. But then he speaks of course, the Huffington Post having an article. And take a listen. You know, these guys are really great.
The message of faith. And I started reading through the article, and I was like, holy cow. I mean, this guy literally did the opposite of what everybody else does and said, people know the story of Dude Perfect. What's all this faith have to do with it? And I sent him back, and I'm like, this is the story that you posted? And he's like, yeah, it's up there right now. And so I went and looked at it, and I mean, he put it all out there. It was incredible to see. So you definitely, it's encouraging to see that there's people like that that are still receptive to that.
Clap.
So of course they're happy to see when something is written on them and Dude Perfect, and how it's not just about them doing the tricks, and it's about Christ as well and faith. So that was great to hear. But it does have me puzzled. I don't know about you. Seeing this symbol, yeah, it looks like a muscle man, but it also looks like a bull. Then the 3 and 3. Anyway, then it had me looking into, well, who is their pastor? It's Jack Graham. Who was Jack Graham? The gentleman who is on the council. He also said, I think it's wise for Christians to support President Trump. Very interesting. And he does have collaborative efforts of evangelicals across denominational lines. Well, when looking more into exactly who he was, because I was not aware of him at all, of course, he's visited FOZ, the Friends of Zion, which is the museum in Jerusalem, right here with Mike Evans. And he's been seen with many, many faces that we all know. Rick Warren. Look who that is. Secular artist, it doesn't matter. Here are some very MacArthur, Bob Coy. Oh, I used to like listening to Bob Coy back in the day, as well as many, many familiar faces when you pause and look at this page. Yes, they have to do collaborative work with other pastors, I understand, but to be in unity, to be preaching with them, to be doing other things, that's a concern of mine. One gentleman wrote very well, and he said, after promoting Paula White's book, he said, "Beloved, this is very concerning. One of the most vicarious wolves on the planet puts out a new book, and no less than 5 prominent church figures endorse it. This should be a point of celebration, because not only do we know Paula White is a false as a $3 bill, but Franklin Graham, Jack Graham, Robert Jeffries, Jerry Falwell Jr., and Greg Laurie have removed all doubt that deserve to be equally marked and avoided. Test ourselves. Do not minimize this for a second. This is where the road to the end times, one world religion is paved, one compromise at a time, piety wrapped in a flag, devoued of the truth and brimming with carnal hope." That's what was said on One Church Watch Central. Kobe and Cotton's mom also wrote a book. I don't have anything to say about it, other than there was positive feedback. Looking at the cover, of course, I could say many things of symbolism that I see. I see 6s just rolled as they like to hide them, and 2 sides being exactly opposite, 3 trees, but I'm not going to get into that. His dad was a pastor of Austin Stone Church, see the logo, but had to step down. He resigned after some incident at the church where a youth pastor, Savage, was charged with sexual charges, and he felt that he didn't do enough to bring it forward to authorities, so he decided to step down. He had nothing to do with it other than that. Well, Dude Perfect does give money to Compassion, and remember, I did a video not that long ago discussing on their funds and how they go forward, and then they had also concerts that happened called Compassion Live, and in there is Levi Lusko and so many others that I was very puzzled about the whole ordeal and Compassion altogether. Jimmy Santiago Melado is the president. It's a 501c3, of course. Do I trust them? Maybe more than some places, but honestly, I don't have anything more to say than that, other than if you watch the other video, you could see where the funds were going, and I have links. So YouTube also has Streamy Awards. I didn't know that existed. So just like you have Grammys and everything else, well, Streamy Awards is by Dick Clark Productions. That's right, they have their own awards. Interesting. Well, I don't think Dude Perfect is one. They have been nominated, but I didn't see them winning. On a side note from that, Hot Ones won an award one year. So Dude Perfect went from CMT to Nickelodeon. So they switched, probably maybe better for the company, not sure, maybe more money, unsure of all that. But Nickelodeon is owned by the one and only Robert Pittman, by Viacom CBS. So who is he? Well, if you pause this, you can read all the affiliates that he is either CEO of or COO of, or he has been on a board for them. Many, many, many. After all this, I'm still left wondering though, why would Christian men promote their former school so much, right? Is there more behind Texas A&M? I don't know. Yes, I understand football. I lived in the States. I get it. You want to support that team where you came from. So I get that whole aspect. How did they get celebrities to appear on their shows if they didn't have connections in the beginning? I don't know. even today, before they hooked up with Nickelodeon, that was a wonder of mine. Can Christians succeed in the industry, basically in Hollywood? Has Hollywood ever accepted Christians in the past? Could they have signed a contract unaware of the consequences where it's leading them, just like their logo and who they're all affiliated with? Will I watch in the future? Well, most likely yes. Our family enjoys the show. There's zero cursing or violence. Plus, they're loads of fun. They're funny guys, and they really have a lot of fun doing what they're doing. Well, so that's Dude Perfect. I hope that opened the eyes and brought some insight. I'm not saying not to watch them, and I'm not saying, I say I will be probably watching because I have a younger daughter who enjoys the show. Otherwise, there's really nothing out there to watch if you can't watch these guys. Do I have concerns still for a few things? Yes, I do. But nothing is black and white today. Nothing. That you have to use discernment. And if just watching them have fun, I'm not concerned. All right, I hope that opens some eyes to Dude Perfect and these young men. God bless. Stay vigilant. Till next time.